Hi, so it's just me again. Wanted to share a little bit about forgiveness. And, the line of work that I do, and even in my own life, in my family, and my experience being a human being, right? There's this huge um, energy that's placed around what we talk about when we talk about forgiveness and how people have crossed us, violated us, betrayed us, manipulated us, hurt us physically, mentally, emotionally, and so on. And this idea or this concept or virtue of forgiveness is something that we hold on to as a tool, as a power to, as a way to kind of keep the control over the situation, right? So if we don't forgive someone, then that essentially means that we retain the power over that person with whatever it is that they've done to us. And so there's like this, the adage, right? Forgive and forget. When you forgive, you are releasing yourself from that burden or holding on to that pain and so on. We all hear that. We hear forgive and forget. And so what does that really mean? Well, it means something different to all of us. How do you forgive? What steps are involved to be able to really forgive? And so sometimes within our hearts and our minds, and we want to forgive people, right? We want to give them either the benefit of the doubt. We want to give them another chance. We want to let go and to move on. But lots of people don't know how to do that. Not only do we not always know how to do that, sometimes what happens is life happens. We become consumed with a million and trillion other things, right? Life happens, work responsibilities, our health, our parents, the car's broken, I don't have a car, this, that, and the other. And there are millions of things that get in the way. And so, excuse me, forgiveness is just one little thing that stands in our way of our happiness. And so today I wanted to spend a little bit of time about forgiveness and just share with you how it is that I forgive and share with you my perception on forgiveness, my personal perception on forgiveness. And it has a lot to do with radical acceptance. And so so there are different phases, and I know if I was editing this video, I can do all the little fancy things and put up 1, 2, and 3 and all of these other things, but I'm not. Like I said before, I love to talk, and so that's what I'm going to do. And if you, hopefully you'll understand the message that I'm trying to deliver. But how I forgive and what I do is I think about what it is that I'm holding on to and try to understand why. And typically why is going to stir up some emotions for me, right? Whether it was, like I was saying before, the hurt, or it's going to be all of the meaning that I attribute to that offense or that incident. And so once that happens, and I can sit with it and I think about it, and it just feels bad. It's something that you want to let go of. And I realize that forgiving somebody or forgiving in general has to do with releasing that, letting go of it, and being able to look at it's Thor. Being able to look at life in a different way and understand that, sometimes when people cross us and they do things to us, it's not always about us. Sometimes it has to do with their own journey, and we just so happen to have been there. But when we forgive, we release ourselves from that trauma, from that hurt, from being stuck in that time. And being stuck in that time essentially means that we can't move forward. And so that's where a lot of the pain comes from. That's where a lot of depression is born. That's where a lot of anxiety resides. Radical acceptance, knowing that, yeah, you were there. Yeah, that happened to you, and learning from it. I'm sure there's plenty of lessons that you can learn from things that may have happened to you. Now, I understand that some things have to do with real serious issues that involve abuse, right? That involve some things that are incorrigible, some things that have been just horrific. I get that. Trust me that I do. But even in those situations, one can really dig down deep to look at how it is you can forgive. And what you gain from forgiving is all about what you gain from forgiving. The other person that you forgave, quote unquote, still has to deal with their issue in their life and the offense that they've committed. And I know this is all rhetorical, right? And I haven't given you details about little things that I have forgiven on. There have been many things in my life that I've had to pardon and forgive people, and some things I don't want to forgive people on, and I want to stomp my feet, and I want to have a tantrum. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to live my happiness. I'm going to live my truth, and I know that I try my very best, and I'm not perfect by far, but I try my best to not offend other people so that I don't then have to live with that choice that I've made, that hurt that I've kind of inflicted upon them, and or wait to be forgiven. So again, the message is, how do you forgive? And learning how to forgive, and understanding that underneath every event that we go through is, again, a foundation that we can stand upon, and we can continue to grow and build our life. Learning that if we put our faith, our belief, and our kind of attention on the positive things in our lives, that we're going to have these burdens released, and we're going to feel better. So I wish you well. I hope that you're able to forgive, to be able to move on, but understanding that forgiveness is a huge part of things that we have to learn to do. We have to learn to forgive one another. And it doesn't mean that you have to be best friends with the person who may have hurt you or crossed you or your family, but we do have to learn how to forgive for our own growth and our own journey. All right. Well, I wish you well. Again, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.